Welcome to another video in our YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to be solving Polytechnic Bamenda 2021-2022 session, mathematics specifically. That's paper 1. So we are going to have a rundown of the questions and then we solve the problems together. Alright, so as you can see, the paper is displayed to you. I'm just going to go straight away to the solutions of the problems, but the instructions are clear. Each question carries 1 mark and it is a duration of 1.5 hours. That's 1 hour 30 minutes. So mathematics is paper 1, physics is paper 2, and then general knowledge and language paper 3. Alright, so let's begin with the first question. So question 1 says that given that y is equal to 10x to the power 6, then the value of dy by dx when x is equal to 2 is, so we are going to get the solution. Now we need to look for dy dx given that y is equal to 10x raised to the power 6. So to differentiate, you have your 10, which is a constant. You drop the power, you take the variable to the power 6 minus 1. Doing that, you get 10 times 6 times x raised to the power 5. Now at x equal to 2, what do we have? So at x equal to 2, we have our dy by dx to be equal to 10 times 6 is 60, then 2 raised to the power 5. Alright, so we have 60 times 32. Remember, in the concours you use calculators, so I'm going to use my calculator and punch. 60 times 32 is 1920, so equal to 1920. Alright, so the correct option is option D. Option D is correct. Okay, so let me just indicate it in red. So that's it for question 1. Alright, let's move on to question 2. It says that the inverse of the function the cube root of x minus 10 for x greater than 10 is. So first, to get the cube root, to get the inverse, I will let y to be equal to my function. Now what does it mean? If y is equal to my function, it means that y is equal to, that's y equal to the cube root of x minus 10. So I'll just copy and paste. Alright, that's y. So from here, I will cube both sides, so I'll get y cube equal to the right hand side or cube. Now the right hand side, I'm just going to get the interior, so y cube will be equal to x minus 10. So if y cube is equal to x minus 10, it means that our x is equal to y cube plus 10. Alright, since we have our y to be equal to f of x, right, what does it mean? It means, what is x? Our x is equal to f inverse of y. So maybe I can call this equation 2. I can call this equation 1. Alright, so since x is unique, then our equation 1 is equal to equation 2 because it's the same x. So if equation 1 is equal to equation 2, it means that f inverse of y is equal to y cube plus 10. Hence, since x and y are variables, it means that our f inverse of x, we can get f inverse of x, just going to give us x cube plus 10. Alright, so which option is correct? Option B. Option B is correct. Alright, so guys, if you have not understood anything with respect to the first 2 questions, please give your comments in the comment section. I'm actually typing because it's very strenuous to do a PowerPoint and so many people are asking for the video, so I'm just trying my best to type. Okay, so I don't know if I am fast or I am slow, but I'm just going to try my best. Okay, Question 3. In an arithmetic progression, the 8th term is twice the 4th term and the 20th term is 40. The common difference of the progression is, so let's just say, remember that in the concours you don't actually show your working cell, but I always like to show my working when I'm solving. So let the n term of the AP, because remember they say it's an arithmetic progression, let the n term be t of n equal to the first term plus n minus 1 times the common difference. Now what do we have? We have that the 8th term, t of 8, is equal to what? 2 times the 4th term, 2 times t of 4. What does it mean? Now let's look for t of 8. I just need to come in to my t of n and I replace n with 8. You see, so it means my t of 8 is a plus 8 minus 1, which is 7 times d. So 8 plus 7d equal to 2 times, what is my t of 4 is a plus 3d. Okay, a plus 3d. Alright, sorry for the mistake. So this we get a plus 7d is equal to, if we multiply all through by 2, we get 2a plus 6d. Okay, so what does it mean? Our a can go with 2a to give us a minus 2a is negative a, and then our 6d can go with 7d to give us equal to negative d. So if we divide all through by the negative sign, we get something very good. We get a is equal to d. So the first term is the same as the common difference. Okay, maybe I can call this equation 1. Alright, the next information is that the 20th term is 40. That's the next information. So 20th term is 40 means that t of 20 is equal to 40. Now what is t of 20? You just go to your t of n and replace n with 20. So we get a plus 20 minus 1 is 19d, and it is equal to 40. But since a is equal to d and we are looking for d, I can just replace this a here with d. So it means that d plus 19d is equal to 40. So what does that mean? It means 20d is equal to 40. So we can divide both sides by 20 and we get our d equal to 2. So option B is correct. Option B is correct. Alright, so let me just highlight option B. Okay, so just go through. If you have any difficulties, don't hesitate to mention your difficulties in the comment section, please. Alright, question 4 reads, so let's just go straight into the solution. The values of x in this interval for which cos x is equal to negative root 2 and 2. So I'm just going to copy, and then first of all we start by looking for the general solution. So our x will be equal to 2k pi plus or minus the principal value, which is cos inverse of negative root 2 divided by 2. Now since you even use calculators, it's good. Cos inverse of negative root 2 and 2 is 3 pi on 4. So it means our x is equal to 2k pi. Remember that k is any integer, plus or minus 3 pi divided by 4. Okay, so let me specify that our k is in the set of integers. Alright, now in the interval, so in the interval 0 to 2 pi, the interval 0 to 2 pi, we are supposed to find the values. We have that these are our values of x. Now let's begin with k equal to 0. Remember that k is an integer, meaning that positive, negative whole numbers including 0. So if k is equal to 0, right, here we have 0, and then we are going to be left with what? Plus or minus 3 pi on 4. But minus 3 pi on 4 is a negative. It's a negative angle. It is not in this interval because this interval contains only positive angles. So we are just going to take what? Plus 3 pi on 4. So you get 3 pi divided by 4. Okay, what about when k is equal to 1? Now if k is 1, we are going to get our x to be 2 pi plus or minus 3 pi on 4. So we have two cases. We have 2 pi plus 3 pi on 4, and we have 2 pi minus 3 pi on 4. But since our maximum value of the angle should be 2 pi, then it means we cannot take 2 pi plus 3 pi on 4 because it's going to be greater than 2 pi. So we just need to take 2 pi minus 3 pi divided by 4. Now 2 pi minus 3 pi divided by 4 is 5 pi divided by 4. So hence the values are 3 pi divided by 4, likewise 5 pi divided by 4. So the correct option is B. Alright, so like I said, if you face any difficulties, make sure to indicate that in the comment section. Okay, here we have the next question, question 5. The equation of the line passing through the points of intersection of this line and this other line, and which is perpendicular to this line is. So first, let the line be maybe T with equation. Remember that the equation of a line passing through a point and having gradient, or passing through a point here, is y minus y0 equal to m into x minus x0, where our point x0 y0, so x0 y0 satisfies T, and m is the gradient of the line C. Okay, now here we know that our x0 y0 is the point of intersection of this line and this other line, so we need to find x0 y0. So the first aim is we need to find the point x0 y0. Alright, how do we find the point? Since it is the point of intersection of those two lines, we just need to equate the lines. Now from this line we look for the value of y. So this line means that our y is equal to 3x minus 13. And we can call that equation 1. Now what about this other line? We can also look for the value of y. Okay, so this other line, sorry for that. So this line means that our 4y is equal to x plus 3. So we can divide all through by 4, meaning that our y is equal to 1/4 into x plus 3. I can call that equation 2. Okay, so since the y's are the same, it means I'm going to equate equation 1 and to equation 2. Equation 1 equal to equation 2. What does it mean? It means that 3x minus 13 is equal to 1/4 into x plus 3. Alright, so this means that we can multiply all through by 4. We get 12x minus 13 times 4 is 52 equal to x plus 3. Okay, so with that 12x minus x is 11x, and 52 plus 3 is 55. So we can divide both sides by 5, and then we get our x to be equal to, by 11, sorry, we get our x to be equal to 5. Hence, if x is 5, what's the value of y? Our y will be equal to, I can just come here, I take I just come here, it's better here, 5 1/4, then just do the working into 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8, divided by 4 is 2. So doing that, we get our x0, which is a point, our x0 y0 to be the point. X is 5 and then y is 2. Okay, we have succeeded to get the value of the point x0 y0. Now we need to find the gradient. Now since T is perpendicular to this line, because our line that we are looking for needs to be perpendicular to this line. Since it's perpendicular to this line, then the product of their gradients m times m1 should be equal to -1, where what is our m1? Our m1 is the gradient of our line that was given. So we can find the gradient. So let me just do a little demonstration here how to find the gradient. So we have this from here. We can get our 5y to be equal to -2x. So the gradient is just the coefficient of x when you write y equal to mx plus c. So our y will be equal to -2 feet x. So it means our gradient there is equal to what? -2 feet. So m1 is equal to -2 feet. So we get our m times -2 feet is equal to -1. So with that, we get our m to be equal to 5 divided by 2. Alright, so I think we have gotten everything that we need to solve. Alright, so my line, so what's going to be our line? Our line T is going to be of the form y minus y0. Our y0 is 2 is equal to m. Our m is 5 divided by 2 into x. X minus x0 is 5. Alright, so we can cross multiply with 2. We get 2y minus 4 is equal to, we multiply here by 5 as well. We get 5x minus 25. Alright, so before we continue, we need to look at how the answers are. So look at the answers. We have 5x minus 2y, so it's beginning with 5x and everything is equal to 0. So I will need to send the left hand side to the right hand side. Yes, I will need to send the left hand side to the right hand side. Alright, so doing that, what are we going to get? We are going to get 5x minus 25, 5x minus 25, and then minus 2y plus 4 equal to 0. So with that said, what do we get? We get that our 5x minus 2y minus 25 plus 4 is minus 21 is equal to 0. So the correct option is, so this is our line T. Okay, so 5x minus 2y minus 21 is equal to 0. 5x minus 2y minus 21 is equal to 0. Option A is correct. Alright guys, so I hope you guys like the analysis that I'm doing. I repeat, if you face any difficulty, please comment. Leave your comment in the comment section. Alright, let's move straight away to the next question. Differentiating implicitly this equation, what do we get? So implicit differentiation, and it is with respect to x. So it means to differentiate the whole equation. So it means that the derivative with respect to x of the left hand side is equal to the derivative with respect to x of the right hand side. Now the right hand side is just a constant, so when you differentiate with respect to x, you get 0. So this means that now all this derivative with respect to x, the derivative with respect to x of x squared plus the derivative with respect to x of 3xy plus the derivative with respect to x of y squared be equal to 0. Or wait, differentiate 7 is a constant, you get 0. Alright, so when we differentiate x squared with respect to x, we get 2x dx by dx plus, when we differentiate 3xy with respect to x, now that is we are going to use the product rule, because here we have the product of two functions, x and y, and you see x actually depends on y. So differentiate with respect to x, I keep my 3 outside. I differentiate x with respect to x, meaning dx by dx, then I multiply it with y, then plus I have my 3x outside, and and now differentiate y with respect to x, meaning dy by dx. That's the meaning of differentiating y with respect to x. Plus, finally, I need to differentiate y squared with respect to x. So I drop the power 2, I multiply with y, and then now I differentiate y with respect to x. That is dy by dx equals 0. Okay, now some things are going to cancel here, like dx on dx is 1. So dx on dx is going to give us 1. So it's in red. Dx on dx here is going to give us 1 in red. Okay, so I get 2x plus 3y plus 3x dy by dx, then plus 2y dy by dx is equal to 0. Okay, so with that said, we can look for dy by dx because that's what we are looking for. So dy by dx, let me put in a special color so that you see that it is common in these two terms. So dy by dx is here, dy by dx is here. Now it means I get 3x plus 2y, and I equate it to, now I need to send everything here to the right hand side, and it's going to be negative into 2x plus 3y. Alright, so it means that we can get our dy by dx will be equal to negative into, I just divide both sides by what is on the left hand side, divided by 3x plus 2y. Alright, so which option is correct? Negative into 2x plus 3y divided by 3x plus 2y. Let's begin. So option A, negative into 2x plus 3y over 3x plus 2y. Yes, option A is correct. Alright, so option A is correct. I forgot to put the option that is correct here. So here we have here option A is correct. Yes, here option A was correct. Perfect. Now also here option A is correct. Okay, so as you can see, option A is correct. Alright, so let's move on to question 7. Question 7 reads, oh sorry for that. Man PLC has 8 female and 7 male employees. A committee of 6 employees is to be set to prepare for an end of year party. For an end of year party, the number of ways in which the said committee can be formed, given that it should contain twice as many females as males. So let the number of females be maybe F and males be maybe M. Now the question says that in a committee we need 6 people, and then the number of females should be what? 2 times the number of males. That's the meaning of twice as many females as males. Okay, so for this to be possible, remember that we have 8 female employees and then we have 7 male employees. Now for us to have this scenario where the number of females is 2 times the number of males, then our number of males should just be equal to 2. So if the number of males is 2, because look at it very well, if m is equal to 1, right, we have the females will give us 2, right? So let's just analyze. If m equal to 1, then our f is equal to 2. Yes, our f is equal to 2. So the number of females plus the number of males is equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. But we need what? It's different from 6 because we need a committee having 6 employees. Very important. So it means that the first case is not going to work. Now if m is equal to 2, then our f is equal to 4 because it's 2 times 2. So our f plus m is equal to 2 plus 4, which is 6. This case is perfect. We have 6 employees. Now look at, if we have m equal to 3, what do we get? So let's conclude. If m equal to 3, then what is our f? 3 times 2, 6. So what is f plus m? Is equal to 3 plus 6, which is equal to 9. Then 9 is not 6, because we need what? 6 employees. So you see that this is the only case in red where it works. So there we just need to do out of, so we need 2 males, right? We need 2 males and 4 females. That's all. And we are going to form the committee. Now we are looking for the number of ways in which we can form that committee. So it's clear. We just need to take the number of males. Remember that this sign is the same as combination. So the number of females, how many of them are there? There are 8 females. So out of those 8 females, I'm going to what? I'm going to choose, out of the 8 females, I'm going to choose 4 times, combination means choosing. Out of the 8 females, I'm going to choose 4, and out of the 7 males, I'm going to choose how many? I'm going to choose 2. So out of the 7 males, I'm going to choose 2. If there was another possibility, then I will continue with the addition sign and I write the next possibility. But since this is the only possibility, then we are good to go. So let me just say n, which is the number of ways. So 8 combination 4, you can punch it on your calculator. 8 combination 4, I'm actually using my calculator, is 70. So here we have 70 times, please don't be confused here, because this notation is also the notation for combination. Yes, so if you go into the exam one, you see this notation, it also represents combination. Okay, so 8 combination 4 is 70, and 7 combination 2 is 21. 21. When we multiply 7 and 21, we get 1470 ways. So option B is correct. Alright, so option B is correct. Alright, so I'll just push this down so that we go to the next page. Question 8, evaluating the limit as y tends to 9 of that. So this limit, the limit as y tends to 9 of this fraction here is the same as the limit as y tends to 9. Now 81 is the same as what? 9 squared. So we can see difference of 2 squares in the denominator. Difference of 2 squares says a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b times a plus b. So it means that our limit will be equal to, now in the denominator I can see my a is y and my b is 9, so it's y minus 9 times y plus 9. Alright, so we see that y minus 9 cancels y minus 9. So y minus 9 that is in the denominator here, let me just try to highlight it. So y minus 9 in the denominator cancels with what? Y minus 9 the numerator. So at the end we get the numerator is going to give us 1 and the denominator is going to give us y plus 9. Y plus 9. Alright, so direct substitution, we get 1 divided by 9 plus 9, 9 plus 9, which gives us 1 divided by 18. So that's the answer to the limit. So the answer is none of the above. Z. Okay, question number 9. Sorry, I never wrote the option here. So option Z is correct. Okay, question 9. A basket contains 15 identical balls numbered 1 to 15. A ball is selected at random and it is a number noted, and its number is noted. The probability that the ball is even and a multiple of 3 is, so keyword and. So first of all, let's write the numbers from 1 to 15. You have 1, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Those are the numbers. Now, so this is my basket contains these numbers. All right, now I select the ball at random. Quite all right. Now I'm finding the probability that the ball is even, meaning that the number is even. You see, so first keyword is that it is even, and then the next is that it is what? A multiple of 3, meaning that it should be even and a multiple of 3. So first I need to look for all even numbers, and then next now I look for the ones which are multiple of 3s. So be even, I'll just call it BE. What do we get? Even numbers, there we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Those are the even numbers. Now multiples of 3, I'll just call it BM3. Yes, so multiples of 3 there, meaning numbers that you multiply. You mean if you take the number you divide by 3, we have no remainder. So you begin with 3, right? 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 3, 9, 3 times 4, 12, 3 times 5, 15. We end there. Alright, now let's look for the balls that are what? Are even and are multiples of 3, right? That's what we actually need. So what's going to be the set? So it's going to be the intersection. 2 is off, 4 is off, 6 is there. Quite alright. So we have 6, comma 12 is there. Quite alright. We have 12. Those are the only 2 balls. Alright, so we see that what? There are only 2 balls that are even and multiples of 3 in our set. So what's probability? The probability of having even and being a multiple of 3, what is it? Is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. Now, how many of them are here? There are 2 of them. And how many balls in total are there? There are 15. So we get 2 divided by 15. So it is just the cardinality of our set. That's the cardinality of this intersection. Cardinality means number of elements in a set divided by the total number of balls, which is 15. Alright, so cardinality of this set, there are just 2 balls there, so we get 2 divided by 15. So it means the probability that the ball is even and a multiple of 3 is 2 divided by 15 after selection. So option C is correct. So option C is correct. Alright, question 10. What do we have? Complex numbers. We need to find the value of I, which I squared is equal to -1. This means that from here, I equal to the square root of -1, it means I squared is -1. So I equal to the square root of -1, meaning I squared is -1, where you square both sides. So it means that I raised to the power 2021 is the same as I raised to the power 2020 times I. Let me indicate the times I, which is the same as you have your I outside here. I raised to the power 2020 is I raised to the power, if I take 2020 divided by 2 gives us 1010. So I raised to the power 1000, sorry, I raised to the power 2, yes, then all that raised to the power 1010. Alright, so I get I into I raised to the power 2 is -1, then raised to the power 1010. But since 1010 is even, then -1 raised to the power 1010 is going to be +1. So at the end we get I times 1. So I times 1, which is equal to I. So correct option is D. That's for question 10. So generally in math we always have 30 MCQs. This is correct. This is correct. Alright, question 11. Evaluating this sum. So I'm just going to rewrite the sum. So we have this sum, right? So this sum is the same as, you can do it in 2 ways. You see, either you fit the terms when r is equal to 1. The first term is what? 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 is -2 plus when r is equal to 2, we get 12 minus 8, which is 4, plus when r is equal to 3, we get 18 minus 8, which is 10, plus when r is 4, we get 24 minus 8. 24 minus 8 is 16, and finally when r is 5, 30 minus 8 is 22. Now if you add negative 2 to 4 to 10 to 16 and to 22, we get 50. I can clearly see our option there. That's the first method, by direct substitution, because we can easily add up the terms. Now method 2, we can identify this as an arithmetic progression. Why? Because clearly, look at the terms. These terms here, negative 2, the terms here, negative 2, positive 4, next is 10. Those terms are called the terms of the sequence, and then when you sum the terms of that sequence, you get now a series. That's why the series is represented by that sum. Now you clearly see that the difference between any two consecutive terms is what? Is 6. Look at 4 minus 2, 4 minus negative 2 is the same as 10 minus 4, which is the same as 16 minus 10, which is the same as what? 22 minus 16, and all of that is equal to what? 6. So this is an AP. First term is what? Negative 2. So the sum of the first n terms of the AP is given by the number of terms divided by 2 into 2 times the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times the common difference. So clearly, what is going to be this sum? So this sum here, we have everything already. The number of terms, we have 5 terms because we are summing from 1 to 5. If we are summing from 0 to 5, we have 6 terms. So be very careful. So the number of terms is 5 divided by 2 times 2 times the first term. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus the number of terms minus 1, that's 5 minus 1, which is 4. 4 times the common difference, 6, is 24. So we get 24. Guys, here is supposed to be 2 and not 3. Alright, so clearly you see that 20 minus 24, 24 minus 4 is 20. So we get 5 divided by 2 times 20, right? So 5 times 20 is 100 divided by 2 is 50. So we can see get option A as the correct option. Option A is correct. Alright, so or you can even split it and then use your formula. It all depends on you. Okay, next question. The argument of this complex number is, so first of all, to plot a complex number, to find the argument, let me first of all give you the definition. So the argument of a complex number, I'm just going to write in short form. The complex number is the angle that the complex number makes with the positive real axis. Alright, so that's the argument of the complex number. So first of all, to find the argument, we need to plot the complex number. Now this complex number belongs to which quadrant? We see that the real part is negative and the imaginary part is positive, so it belongs to the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, the argument is pi minus tan inverse of the imaginary part positive divided by the real part positive, or the absolute values. So here you have root 3 divided by 1. Remember, I'm not taking the negative because I talked of absolute values when you're doing that. Okay, so you have pi minus tan inverse of 3. You can use your calculator. Tan inverse of root 3, sorry. The tan inverse of the square root of 3 is 60 degrees, which is pi on 3. So we have pi divided by 3. So pi minus pi on 3 gives us what? 2 pi on 3. That's 120. So you even see pi on 3 was among the options. So option B is correct. Alright, so option B is correct. Okay. Question 13. I have a little bit of constraints here. You because it requires me to draw, and anyways I'll just try my best. A mass of 6 kg rests in equilibrium on a rough plane inclined at 30 degrees to the horizontal. Given that the coefficient of friction between the mass and the plane is denoted by mu, the value of mu is. So guys, I'll just try my best. So anyways, this first video, we are going to end at question 15. Yes, we end at question 15, but I'm going to display the rest of the questions. We are not going to solve the rest of the questions. I'm just going to display. In the next video now, I will come and solve those questions. So let me just try my best to draw what is happening. So we have an inclined plane. So there is a plane, there is a slope of the plane. Now here is the horizontal. Okay, now we have a mass that rests on that plane. So let me just present the mass as a box, you see. So you rest on that plane, and then you have been given the mass of the mass. Let's say the mass of the box. Yes, let's put it here. Okay, so let's just say here we have our box, for example, and then now the most essential, remember it is at equilibrium, meaning it's not moving. So the most essential thing is just to resolve the forces. So we first of all begin with the weight which acts what? Vertically downwards from the center. Vertically downwards. There is a weight. Okay, so it is mg, which is 6g. Now next we now have what? We need to resolve this component of the weight along the plane and perpendicular to the plane, because normally here we have the normal reaction, which is what? Always perpendicular to the plane. So you have the normal reaction force there. We are going to indicate the values very soon. You have the normal reaction force. After the normal reaction force, let's now indicate the frictional force, because there was friction. So the frictional force, let's just say if the body was moving downwards, then the frictional force is opposing. Sorry, it was not moving. So there is a frictional force because it opposes a component of the weight parallel to the plane. Alright, there's a frictional force, and then now the component of the weight parallel to the plane, here is it. I'm going to take it from the center still. Here is that component, and now we need to find the component of the weight that is perpendicular to the plane. This line is not really parallel, so okay, this is better. Now finally, perpendicular to the plane, it means that they're also in the same orientation as the normal reaction, because the normal reaction is perpendicular to the plane. Alright, so now our angle is theta, so you need to indicate that angle. The angle is made with the horizontal, remember. So the angle theta is the angle that the plane makes with the horizontal. So we need to come to our plane. Remember that the horizontal is a ground. So the angle that the angle made by the plane and the horizontal is 30 degrees in this case. Alright, so we have it as 30 degrees. Now let me now indicate everything that we need. Okay, so this is our figure. Now let me introduce all those forces. First we have the weight, which is mg. I'm just going to put 6g because m is 6, right? Now next we need to indicate the frictional force. I'm just going to call it F. So our weight is mg, 6g, sorry. So our weight is 6g. Now after the weight being 6g, what do we have again? We have the component of the weight perpendicular to the plane is 6g cos 30, 6g cosine of 30. So 6g the cosine of 30 degrees, and then parallel to the plane is 6g the sine of 30 degrees. All these things can be derived, but I believe you already know the standard forms, because in a concours you don't need to show your workings, they just need your responses. Now parallel to the plane, we have this guy here, which is 6g, the sine of 30. Okay, now the normal reaction is n. Normal reaction, I can call it n. Here is a normal reaction here, always perpendicular to the plane, therefore it is equal to the component of the plane perpendicular to the plane. And then finally we have our frictional force, I can call it F. Okay, I can call it F. Now we are going to apply Newton's second law of motion in this scenario. So Newton's second law of motion, I'm just going to have a Newton's second law of motion. We have that what? The resultant force is equal to the mass times the acceleration. But since the system is at equilibrium, it means the acceleration is 0, meaning that the resultant force will be equal to 0. Okay, now what's the resultant force? The resultant force is F minus mg sine 30. Sorry, not mg, 6. Our m is 6. So resultant force is forward minus backward. So either 6g sine 30 or F minus 6g sine 30. I equate it to 0. So what does it mean? Remember that our F is the frictional force. So it means our frictional force is equal to 6g sine 30 is what? Half. Okay, so at the end we get the Vg, that's the frictional force. Now what do we need? We need the value of the coefficient of friction. So first of all, we need to relate the frictional force and its coefficient. So the frictional force is equal to the coefficient of friction times the normal reaction. But since the body is in equilibrium, right, it means that the normal reaction, so our F here is equal to mu. Our normal reaction is equal to 6g cos 30. Yes, 6g, the cosine of 30. That's our normal reaction. So at the end we get mu 6g mu, and cos 30 is the square root of 3 divided by 2. That's it. Maybe I can call this equation 2. Alright, and then here I call this equation 1. Now equation 1 is the same as equation 2 because it's a frictional force. So equation 1 equal to equation 2. Right? What does it mean? It means that our 3g is equal to here we have 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. So we have 3g mu times the square root of 3. So we see that 3g on the left hand side, I will put it in red, and 3g on the right hand side, I'm also going to put it in red. They cancel off. So what does it mean? It means that 1 is equal to the square root of 3 times mu. So what's the value of mu? We divide both sides by the square root of 3. So our mu is equal to 1 divided by the square root of 3. Alright, so option D. Perfect. Option D is correct. So option D is correct. Now the last but not the least question, we have question 14. Question 14 says we should find the value of alpha squared plus beta squared, given that alpha and beta are the roots of that equation. So guys, if you feel this type of question, then it means you're actually looking within the year. Alpha squared plus beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha beta. Alright, since alpha and beta are the roots of the given equation, then what's alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is the sum of roots, is negative the coefficient of x on the coefficient of x squared, so negative b on a, negative 3 divided by 2. And what's alpha beta? The product of roots, the constant, which is negative 1 divided by the coefficient of x squared, which is 2. So it means that our alpha squared plus beta squared is equal to alpha plus beta all squared, which is negative 3 divided by 2 all squared, negative 3 on 2 all squared, minus 2 alpha beta, negative half. Alright, there we get 9 divided by 4, then plus 1, which is giving us what, 13 divided by 4. So option D is correct. So option D is correct. Hence option D is correct. Alright, so the last question for this video. Okay, so you also require me to draw a diagram. I'll try my best to be fast so that the video should not be longer. A box is pulled horizontally through a distance of 4 meters by a force 6 Newton at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. The amount of work done is, okay, so first I will need to indicate what is happening. So this is my ground floor. Now we now have a box. Let me just put the box here on the ground floor. Yes, there is our box. Now what happens is that the box is being pulled by a certain force, which is 60 newtons, and that force is actually inclined at an angle to the horizontal. So let's just say maybe the box is being pulled in this direction. So that's the direction of motion. Okay, though it's not going to help us, but anyways, we are going to see what to do now. So this is a force, right? So what is taking it? Nevertheless, we have, first of all, we have our force, which is inclined at an angle. So the force is here, inclined is 60 newtons, that's the magnitude, but it is now inclined at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal. So we have something like that. Now I'm just going to indicate the force there. I'm going to call it 60 newtons already. I'm not going to call it F. 60 newtons. Okay, now this box has moved a certain distance of 4 meters, and the objective of the equation is to find the work done. That's the objective. So maybe it began from let me just indicate this position. Yes, let's just say it began from this position of maybe 0 meters, and then now its new position, meaning maybe this the new position here. The distance between the original position and the new position is 4 meters. Okay, so the distance between the original position and the new position is 4 meters. So what do we need to find? We need to find the work done. That's what we need. So what's work done, first of all? Now you see this force, let's not forget something, it's inclined at an angle, and remember that motion is in what? The horizontal direction. So motion takes place in the horizontal direction, so we need to find the force in the horizontal direction. That's all we need to do. But nevertheless, we are also going to find the force in the vertical direction. So we are going to resolve the forces, and then now we get the force in the horizontal direction, and we get the force also in the vertical direction, and then we conclude. Alright, so pardon me for wasting a lot of time, but it's not really easy, so draw it very fast. Okay, so I need to indicate my angle that the force is making. The angle is actually 30. Is it 30? Yes, it's 30 degrees. So we have 30 degrees to the horizontal. Now we need the horizontal component of this force, and we need what? The vertical component of the force. So this horizontal component of the force is going to be this component. So I'm going to put it in red. So this component is a horizontal component, and then we also need what? The vertical component. We need the vertical component of that force. So the two components of the forces that we need. But nevertheless, we are more interested in the horizontal component because motion is taking place in the horizontal direction, and the distance is also covered in the horizontal direction. So we can resolve the forces. Clearly, if we try to create a right angle triangle here, right, if we try to create a right angle triangle here, we are going to see that this vertical component here will still represent this vertical component here represent this other vertical component in red in the horizontal direction. So this one in dotted is also this guy here, and then the horizontal is there. So we need the vertical and the horizontal, so we can use trigonometry ratios. So if we take the sine of 30, right, what are we going to get? We are going to get the opposite, which is maybe Fy in the vertical divided by the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is 60 newtons, or F. So what does it mean? It means that our Fy is equal to 60 times the sine of 30. Okay, now if you take the cosine of 30, we are going to get what? Horizontal, we can call it Fx, adjacent divided by hypotenuse, 60, right? So what does it mean? It means that our Fx, which is the horizontal component, is equal to 60 times the cosine of 30. So you have 60 times the cosine of 30 is 3 divided by 2. So at the end, 60 on 2 is 30. So we have 30 times the square root of 3 newtons. Please, here we have 60 times the sine of is half, so we get 30 newtons. Okay, now what's work done? Our work done is in the horizontal direction, remember. So the work done is equal to the force in the horizontal direction times the distance moved, right? The distance moved is 4 meters. So we have the force in the horizontal direction, which is 30 times the square root of 3 newtons. Then we multiply with what? We multiply with the distance, which is 4 meters. So at the end, we get 120 times the square root of 3 Newton meter, which is equal to 120 the square root of 3 joules. So that's our work done. So correct option is option C. So option C is correct. Option C is correct. Okay guys, so I'm going to end the video here. Nevertheless, I'm just going to show you guys the rest of the equations. I'm going here. These are the other questions. In the next video, I'm going to come and we solve the equations together. That's question 15 to question 30. So you can just maybe screenshot or whatsoever and try the problems, so that when I'm solving, you just be verifying if your method was correct and if your answer was correct as well. So maybe you can just screenshot the questions, or you just wait for me to come and solve the questions together with you. All right.